Bill Whalen, the mayor, has sponsored today's juice, our juice sponsor, which means he's paying for the show. And so let's talk a little bit about how did you get started in this. I mean, I understand you're a businessman. You owned your own business, and you were able to be very successful in that way. So how did politics? It's a different side to things. It's almost like a.
Well, I wasn't going to. I was approached.
Okay.
People know that I've been active in the community since I've been here 18 years now.
Okay.
We're not from the area. We have no relatives here.
Where are you from?
We're Traverse City, Michigan.
Okay.
Spent 30 years there. And my wife and I, the kids are grown and gone, and we were looking for another adventure in our life. So we had an idea in our mind what kind of a community we would like.
Okay.
So had looked at many communities, and we came here and we saw the things that attracted us. We've always been on the water, doing sailing, outdoor activities.
It's the truth. It really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's a beautiful area.
Well, everybody wants a little bit of heaven,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody wants a little solitude and a place to move away from things and get rid of the hectic. And Ashland provides that. We have everything a community needs there.
Mm-hmm.
We've got an intact downtown, which you can actually window shop in.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have the murals, which people from China follow us on on the internet.
Really?
So, yes. I've had people they post up there, and you can do a walking tour of Ashland's history on the murals that are on our buildings by local artists. And it's caught on.
I don't want to stop you right there, but what's the future of our murals? I mean, is it going to continue on? How many more can we expect to see? Do you know anything like that?
Yes. Well, that's a separate corporation, a nonprofit.
Yep.
And what you do is you approach the group, and you have to fund it yourself.
Okay.
With an idea, and if it fits in with what they're attempting to do, they will do it. But they're not inexpensive murals.
Oh,
We just finished that
yeah.
one on the Pennies building, was a reproduction of the whole ore dock.
Well, okay.
It took months and months to do. And then they have to make sure that it's going to be lasting, so they use materials so these murals could be around 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I see people downtown with their cameras walking, from mural to mural, standing in front of them, taking pictures.
Oh yeah.
You bend a whole day doing just that, and then throw breakfast and lunch in there, and you've got a lot of entertainment for next to
Okay.
This is more fun to talk about, than politics.
Yeah, I know it is. But the ore dock. Okay, so is it scheduled to be torn down? I'm always trying to think visionary. I'm always trying to think future. And to me, the murals are a major draw. That ore dock, yes, you could tear it down. No, just hold on. But to me, it almost seems like if you could keep it, for one, fireworks will never be the same without it. Because once you
Sure.
you know what I mean?
Right.
You'll have to hire me just to make the sound effects.
Right.
Not that I would.
People who are watching this right now, we have probably the longest ore dock in the world out, 1,900 feet. It goes out into the bay.
Okay.
And you can catch every fish that you want out of the bay without a boat off this ore dock. And people I've talked to in town, when they were smaller, and their dads, they did just that.
Yeah.
And they swam off the dock. It's like 90 feet to the top of the dock, 90 feet from the water. So they swam and jumped and had a great old time. So there's a lot of memory, lots of institutional memory with that ore dock. And many people worked on the ore dock when the ships were going. There was, at one time, 300 trains a day cars going out of here in the ore business. And then we had the pulp business. So the very active waterfront.
Well, the fact that I think this town wouldn't even exist if it wasn't for that
That's
industry.
Correct. That's correct.
I mean, really.
So to back up a little bit, what my intention was, there's 2 permits involved. I issued a permit. It took me about a year and a half to negotiate with Canadian National on just the upper structure, and not counting the base.
Okay.
So they are starting on the upper structure right now.
Are they? Okay.
The next time we'll have to negotiate the base. Now, I would like to keep the base. If you were to come to my office, I would show you conceptual drawings of what I would do with it. But I want to make it one of those experiences. If you're going on Lake Superior, that you'll stop, and I want that to have I want a cruise ship terminal there. I want a place that people go out and fish to watch the sunsets at night.
Wow.
Really make it a tourist area draw,
Yeah.
and give the locals something to drive around in healthcare. So I'm developing a consumer-driven health plan for our city right now,
Okay.
for our employees, and I want to be able to when I finish with this, I want to be able to offer this to the people on the street, the business owners,
Mm-hmm.
who are uninsured or uninsured.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I see it in the country right now is our primary care for health insurance is suffering. People are running to emergency rooms for items that should be taken care of at a primary care level. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to strengthen that part of it, and then I'm going to go heavy into wellness, so we can attack the chronic conditions like diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
1 and 2. And by doing so, we'll reduce our cost overall.
Okay.
And if I can do that, this is going to attract businesses to come into town.
Mm-hmm.
The elephant in the room is healthcare. I spend, not me personally, but the city spends $15,000 a year per employee.
Wow.
That's a lot of money.
That
If
is
I
a
can
lot of
save 15% in the first 2 years, that's $225,000 I can put in the roads.
Issues.
Mm-hmm.
Here are some facts that you can present to us. We're going to talk about that next. About, things that we should know before we go and vote. And, I'm getting your side of the story only because I saw you downtown, and I'm trying to start this PB&J for adults up,
Sure.
and I thought to myself, hey, what better idea than having the mayor on here?
Thank you.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about what was said you don't have to mention names or anything, but in the Evergreen Shopper, and just kind of address some of that. I know there was a lot in there, but I was shocked by it when I read it, just because I had no clue of anything that was going on or
That's
what
how
was
I looked at
real.
what was running the shopper.
Mm.
The only thing in that shopper ad that was accurate
Mm-hmm.
was what I said at the League of Women Voters that night. Everything else, without going into a lot of detail, which I could, I'll just let it go at this, they were going to the court of public opinion. If they went to the court here in town, they would lose the case.
Mm-hmm.
So it was to create innuendo, doubt, and that's what you do.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is there's a lot of public opinion going on in there and less facts about what was published. It was kind of twisted.
Well, the facts in the article itself were gained through Freedom of Information Act.
Okay.
So when you look at the documents themselves, you can twist that any way you want.
Mm.
And the party that was doing that certainly is not an accountant or an auditor,
Mm-hmm.
and making claims that my budget was out of balance. I was transferring funds from other departments.
Mm-hmm.
I was using money inappropriately. Creating those innuendos. And actually, what was even worse was involving names of our other department heads, making them look like they were complicit in this.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the realities were my budget was under budget. I never transferred one dime from another department.
Mm.
So they were trying to make it look like they did. They said on the recall petition that I'm neglectful
Mm-hmm.
and inefficient, but I'm far from any of that. And so I have an accounting degree and an economics minor.
Mm-hmm.
I've practiced I was in public accounting 7.5 years. I even audited government entities, cities, townships, hospitals, townships, and I know how it operates.
Mm-hmm.
So they're trying to make an illusion that there was some kind of conspiracy or fraud, something
Mm-hmm.
that we were doing. We're not doing any of that.
Okay.
And it's very easy to get information from a municipality because you're required by law to provide it.
Mm-hmm. For instance, I saw in there some, $180 given to, say, Schwalmingen Health and Fitness Center.
Sure.
What was that for? And
Well, that's part of that health care program that I'm working on.
Okay.
And you're going to need a wellness center
Right.
to fit into this. So what that went through, I thought, well, if I'm going to be doing that, actually, there's nothing wrong with that because under one of my fringe benefits is to be able to do that.
So would
So
you say, in a way, it was an attack towards just you in general, or?
Well, there was, that $180. There was more than that than $180. They were trying to discredit how I was handling monies and that.
Right.
Basically, they have nothing. When we did the League of the Women Voters Forum on the 5 of us, where they went down the line and asked everybody, why are you recalling their mayor? And no
Okay.
one could come up with a substantial reason.
Hmm.
So then this ad appears, here are the reasons.
Mm-hmm.
And actually the person who paid for the ad was not the person that generated the reason.
Oh, okay. So I guess we're going to wrap things up here. But I guess are there any last things you'd like to tell the voters out there? We're going to go ahead and try to get this out as much as we can so that everyone can see this interview. But What time is it to go down and vote? I guess first off, people need
Go
to be
to the
there.
polls, and 7 in the morning, go down to the polls,
Okay.
and certainly
Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, right? Cast a vote for me and keep me in office.
Mm-hmm.
I've got a lot going on right now that will benefit the city. This is a part-time position. You make $14,000 a year, but I haven't worked a part day yet. I've probably put 40 to 50 hours a week in, and only because I want to move the city forward.
Mm-hmm.
And I'd like to use the talents that I've developed over the last 70 years of my life and work experience and do something positive.